What's up? We are live. We are hitting it. Welcome. Come on in here. Come on in this room. Everybody, come on in this room. Miss G is back. I'm back and we handling business. I'm handling business. So come on in, come on in, come on in. And on the Facebook side, I got it right tonight. I apologize. I was all gun ho, child. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Katie. Look at my Glow Tribe coming in. What's up? I messed up yesterday. Child, and I was getting it in. Y'all saw it on the replay. And then this morning I woke up and I'm like, did I do my live on my personal page? I sure did. So I apologize, y'all. What's up, cousin Courtney? This is my Glow Tribe up here, my peoples. I'm so sorry about yesterday. I went on my personal page by mistake. Ciao. But I'm back. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all glad I'm back. Or like and share. Like and share if y'all glad Miss G is back. Hunty. All I got to tell y'all is I will have a mind-blowing story time for y'all in a few weeks, honey. So we gotta stay true to the cause. Hey, YouTube. What's up, my people in YouTube? And while y'all here, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, please. Cause y'all see my numbers be struggling, child. But I be trying. How are you, Miss Sharon? Y'all come on in this room because we are going to talk about getting your citizenship in Ghana. We've talked about Ghana a lot. And yeah, we've talked about Ghana a lot. And we are now going to take it to the next level. Like I told y'all, we started this in October. And let me, for everyone that's new, okay. Hey, Carol, welcome. For everyone that's new, and all of y'all, do me a favor, is share this, because sharing is caring, first of all. Okay. Sharing is caring. And I know there are tons of people, because Ghana is the trending hot country in Africa. Everyone wants to move to or go to, when there's 53 other countries in the continent, and at least 45 of them is just as fire as Ghana. Just to let y'all know, no shade on Ghana. I'm just saying, everyone wants to go to Ghana. Everyone wants to live in Ghana. Hey, Nakia. Everyone wants to live in Ghana, but it's the motherland is a massive place. Massive. So for the new people in the house, y'all come on in. People on YouTube, hello. My name is Gloria, Miss G. However, depending on when you met me, you're going to call me Miss G or Glow. Okay, my old school people. Hey, Nikki. My old school people call me Miss G. My new school people call me Glow. Both are fine, child. I've been called worse and better. It's all good. But I am a avid traveler, solo traveler, 50 plus traveler, and I am a travel consultant. And I used to work for Amex, servicing their platinum and their Centurion clients. just for those that come on and want to know a little bit about my background and if I know what the hell I'm doing. But let me tell you a little background since there's so many people coming on. So I do Glamp Lux Travels. Um, I develop from working at Amex because I had just spent time in Africa, like 3 months. I lived in Kenya. And when I came back, I started working for Amex. So in my training, the trainers were like, oh my God, you spend so much time there. You should be a destination specialist. I said, yeah, that would be cool. And you know me, I'm like, yeah, I'll be flying back and forth to Africa. I'm good, good, good. So from time to time they do, to bond with their employees, surveys. So who's that? Dion, how are you? To bond with their employees. So they had a survey of what they could do better. So I noticed when I first started, and they used during training, they used to have us do research on countries and everything like that to know our geography. So I looked up Africa. Now y'all know how big Amex is. I'm not gonna say the whole name, okay? I don't want to get sued because I ain't got no money. But um how big and how long they've been in business since 1960, before credit cards were even made, right? And I'm like, why do they only have two African countries listed in on their travel site of different places to go? And the gag is that the two countries aren't even connected to Africa. They sit in the middle of the water. They were Seychelles and Mauritius. I'm like, okay, I'm confused. Where's South Africa? Where Nigeria? Where, the popular country? Where's Ghana? Where's Kenya? Where the safaris? The only two countries. This is some tea for y'all, okay? The only two countries were Seychelles and Mauritius. I was like, at that time, I was like, where that at? Where that at? Yes. So as time went on and they would do the surveys, I'm like, hello, hello, hey, um, I would like to be a destination specialist for the continent of Africa. And they would ignore me or whatever. And then they had a pointed survey, and I went and I was like, hey, I've been sharing this information and no one seems to get back in touch with me. I see the need, because on your website, and whoever has an Amex card, go to travel section. And right before I left, I'm not even sure if they had Africa on there. That's some tea, right? So they wrote me back, very corporate America style, and said, oh, that's so nice, but based on our metrics and research, no one travels to Africa. Do I need to repeat that? Do I need to repeat that? They told me nobody travels to Africa. I said, "Oh, corporate America, that's what type of time we on." Okay. Hey, Maya, that's what type of time we on. Okay. Okay. So from there, I birthed Glamp Lux Travels. And Glamp Lux Travels was supposed to be kind of like glamping, okay, la 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 la, Lux, and travels. But I wanted it to only be the continent of Africa. So that's where my focus is, on the continent of Africa, right? So Um, I spent like a year just, getting my training, my professional training through the company I work for, to set myself up to be the best consultant and curate your travel. And I can book you anywhere, but I am focusing on the continent of Africa because I did fall in love with the continent. And as I study each country, it's just we have just missed out on so much. And I feel that we are blessed in this moment that we have the opportunity to make it back home. Because real talk, that's our home. We were only born here. Africa's our home. We were only born here. Our ancestors were taken, stolen, the whole nine, brought here against their will. That's the only way we got here. So um we are going through the process, and the countries in Africa, they flex and they like, oh shoot, yes, we are about to do the do, because here our people come with money. With money. But it's a win-win for both situations, right? So I always like, so I want to thank y'all for jumping on again on YouTube. Thank y'all, YouTube, but please subscribe, like, and share. And on Facebook, please like and share, because sharing is caring. Okay, so we've covered Ghana a couple times, and y'all don't forget we're doing a Ghana trip, scout trip in October. And the scout trip is to visit Ghana, and on the visitor side, and if you want to possibly move there. So we had Brawizi a few weeks ago, and he'll probably come back on. But we have a couple of things going on with Ghana. And since I started back up yesterday, I'm back after a couple of weeks off. Like I said, that will be a story time in itself, y'all. But it's part of the process. And pray for me. But God is amazing. That's all I gotta say. So we're gonna talk about Ghana today. And hi, Miss Gloria. We're gonna talk about Ghana today and the citizenship process. So I know a couple of people in the chat has been to Ghana, right? So who is planning to make Ghana their home? Go down the citizenship thing. Put Ghana in the chat if that is on your things to do list. Put Ghana in the chat, or put whatever country. Do me a favor, put whatever country y'all are planning to not only visit and travel to, but since we are concentrating so much on concentrating so much on repatriation, which country are you planning on moving to? Because I say it every time. I'm not going to beat horses. We know what it is. When I don't watch TV, I catch it maybe on a feed or whatever, or if I'm at the gym, I'll see it. I haven't watched TV since 2020. And that's when I started researching Africa to move. That's when I was like done, but I was done in 2023 when those babies in Texas were murdered. I said, I can't do this place no more. Nah. And now that I'm getting older, I want to live in peace. I'm a hustler, yes. I got 50, 11 jobs, but do I want to do that at 60, 70 years old? No, absolutely not. I want to chill. I really want to chill and enjoy life. And when I traveled to the continent, it was just such a different experience. You can breathe, you can chill. And if you talk to anyone that's living in the continent now, their vibe is like totally different. They talk at a certain pace. Like they're like, yeah, I got up and I'm sitting on my porch, drinking my coffee, looking at my farm grow. Like, okay. But anyway, so we have talked about Ghana before, but I'm just going to go over a little just to remind y'all, right? So, Ghana, because we have been brainwashed to think. I really let's do a mind reset here. I've been into like revision and how you want your life to go, but I want all of us that's on the chat, and YouTube and Facebook, what we as African Americans has been made to believe and fed. And I know it's deliberate, of course, to shrink us down or keep us down. That our origination started at the slave camps and they brought us over to United States. Jeanette, welcome to the United States. That is what they want us to think our origination started from. But let me tell you something. Remove that today. And when you look at it from the different perspective, you like, oh no, this is how we gonna do this. Because what Kendrick Lamar say? We got royalty inside our DNA. Ow! Okay. What? We got royalty in our DNA. But other folks want to diminish us. And I remember a few years ago, every time it was Black History Month or something, it was always some slave stuff, or it was movies. It was a lot of movies coming out. It was all about us being slaves. Amistad and this. That's not where we started from. We started, let me tell you about Ghana. And this is just one of the 53 countries that basically have the same story, right? Because it's the motherland. Let's start off with that. The motherland is not like a catchphrase. The motherland, hey, Bonita, the motherland is not a catchphrase. The motherland is a bona fide term for Africa because everything started in Africa. Don't get it twisted. Everything started in Africa. We are a superior people. We have always been until the folks came in and changed up everything. We were minding our business. We were living our lives. We were fishermen. We had community. We had empires and dynasties. We didn't start from slaves. That's what they want to feed us. Like, oh my God, like I feel, because our ancestors were slaves. No, they weren't. They were kings and queens. They were over dynasties back in from Ghana. It was the Ghanaian Empire. It was ruled by the Masi, and also the Masi was over Burkina Faso too. Was a tribe in Burkina Faso that we talked about yesterday, right? And also the Mali, right? It was several tribes, and they were kings and queens. So let's try to change in our minds that all we focus on is the slave trade. Yes, it happened, but it happened hundreds of years after the civilization existed. And there was some pirates and colonizers that came in smiling. We see it today. When they come and gentrify the neighborhood, when they come in, hey, how you doing? We want to help. We want to help. And, we're volunteering and we're missionaries. And before you know it, it's 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 a it's a gay couple with a dog. When you see that, it's over. It's over. Because the next thing you're going to see is somebody jogging. Then the next thing you're going to see is somebody pushing their stroller. And then when you see somebody pushing their stroller in your neighborhood, just be prepared for your taxes to go up like 70%. So So they come in like a thief in the night. And that's what happened in most of the African countries. And they lost their stabilization. So I look at several of these European countries now from the history that I have studied over, because we've been doing this since October. And I look at the Portuguese real crazy, the French, the British, and the Dutch. Okay. They did a lot of damage. And like I said yesterday, and we loving ourselves some Burkina Faso and Captain Ibrahim, right? And one of his aides said something very profound and true 1000%. I'm saying this. Hey Q, I am saying this for us to, especially in this climate of this America we live in, of not forgetting where we came from. And we did not come from slaves. We came from kings and queens and empires and dynasties. And they got lost on a boat and, found where, was walking or whatever along the coast, discovering the coast of Africa, and then came in and started changing up things, started changing our values, our religion, how we do everything. And then all of a sudden they woke up and they were being traded. They were being traded. And Africa, Mother Africa, okay, the motherland, has all the resources. No other country has the resources that Africa has. That's why it's such a target. And additionally, with those that their first question is, oh my, well, how safe is it? What are you talking about? How safe is it? It's safer than the United States. Okay. So, but the narrative, when you hear some people talk, because I purposely, like I would tell my Glow Tribe back in October, when I do research on the African countries, I make it a point, because I go to YouTube because I want to hear it from real people. So I do a lot of research on YouTube and different things, but I go on YouTube and I make it a point not to get any type of narrative or summary from someone white, because I have noticed clearly a big difference on how a Black person delivers their experience on the continent with the country compared to a white person. A white person always throws in that little tinge of fear. Like, oh, well, but they over there. That's what they putting that fear in, because they see the value, but they don't want us to have it. Like, can we have anything? And this is where I'm going to go into. We talking about the citizenship, and whomever that's on this live. I know y'all heard when they did the citizenship in Ghana, what? Y'all put it in the chat. Who was up in there smiling and grinning and schminning? We're Ghanaian people. What was it? 300 white folks? Yes, put your mouth up. Put your mouth up. 300 white folks that got their Ghanaian citizenship in this past ceremony. It was 524 yay people from the diaspora, and it was exciting, but it was 300 white folks because they know the value and they're like, oh, no, we're gonna get a piece too because we're struggling. Because guess what? $8 eggs is $8 eggs. And I went into the grocery store today. Why was ketchup $7? They claimed that it was for a Passover limited edition. It was a regular thing of Heinz ketchup for $7. So, anyway, let's talk about. I told y'all a little bit of history, right? Because I always like to start with that to bring us to where we are now so we can appreciate it. So it was the Ghanaian Empire, and it was the Dabbon and the, I destroyed the names, but the Mali and the Masi tribe, right? Masi tribe is a big tribe in Ghana, as y'all know, is in West Africa, okay? And it is a coastal country. So that's good because it's a mix. So you can have that, inland tropics, and then you can be on the coast on the beach. This was back like 1200 CE, right? And the Europeans started rolling in there, the Portuguese to be exact, started rolling in there like the 15th century, 1471. That's when they built that big fortress. I forgot what you called it. It's the Christiansburg Castle. So 1471, right? But then they started trading, right? And they found that Ghana was just full of gold. And they were transporting the gold, and then the French got a whiff of it, started having beef with the Portuguese, pushed the Portuguese out. It's funny when I see white folks fight against each other. It's hilarious to me, okay? So the French was like, we want a peace. But then the French got pushed out by the British, and that's when the British wanted to take it to another level. They had taken so much of the gold and all the resources that they found in Ghana. They named it the Gold Coast because it was so much darn gold. But they couldn't leave it there. They just could not leave it there. They went and said, you know what? We got this gold. And we are financing our country. And as I said, I forgot to say, Burkina Captain Ibrahim's assistant said that France wouldn't exist if it wasn't for our ancestors. And that is a global thing. Not one of these European countries would exist if it wasn't for our ancestors. Because when they came over, they took the resources. They stole the resources. Okay. Then they took it to the next level and took us to be free labor to build their so-called beautiful countries. So the next time, if y'all want to spend your money in Europe, that's your business. All of the the buildings that was financed or built by Africans. The Eiffel Tower, I will repeat it over and over and over and over again, was financed by Haiti. But everybody want to keep that quiet. Yes, T T T T T, as my daughter say. Yeah. Okay. So the Portuguese arrived there in like 1400, right? In the 15th century. Then the French got a whiff of all the gold, came, they had a conflict. But then the British and the Dutch came and was like, no, we taking all this over and we're going to take the folks and bring them back over. And that's when the slave trade started. Centuries after, it was like 1200, this happened in 600 years. So we didn't start off as slaves. So let's get that out of our psyche so we can move differently. And if whatever we're doing to try to survive in this climate that we got going on, I know it's just beating us down, but I just wanted to put that in your ear. Okay. So the British took it over like 1800s. The Africans was trying to, revolt, but they just took them over because they were a superpower. Did the Atlantic slave trade, made all the folks rich. And but full circle, that 1957 came after a lot of wars and a lot of upheaval. That 1957, and what makes Ghana so special is because Ghana was the first country to get its independence. Was the first country to get their independence in 1957. So from 1957 they got their independence, but their prime minister was a bit authoritative, so it was a little bit of conflict there. But then they got prime minister or president. His name was Jerry Rawlings. He tried to put it back together and just get it stable. And then the next president, I think he came in like in the 90s. No, in the 2000s. I forgot what his name was, but he wanted to make it a point that it would be very little to low corruption there. So that's how they built themselves. So I want to give you like a history on that. Now, the process of anybody going through the process, put passport in the chat if y'all are going through, or better yet, anybody that is going through the process now, because I always like to hear from people that's experiencing it. That's what I know my Glow Tribe wants. I do research and I listen and all of that, and I'll tell you the story. But if anyone is on here, send me a message so I can put y'all on the screen. All right. So the let's start off if you visit. Anybody coming on? Okay. If you want to visit, let's start off with visit, and then we're going to get into the process of citizenship. So if you want to visit, the good thing is for Ghana, you can get a visa on arrival. You don't have to apply before you travel there. You can get a visa on arrival. Usually the visas on arrival are about $100. You go into like a special, they treat you really like VIP. So I like that. You pay a couple of dollars extra, but you don't have to worry about that pre stuff. And then you kind of scoot through the line whatsoever. So you can get a visa on arrival. Now, going into citizenship. All right. So citizenship is a process, and you can go through citizenship several ways, four ways. Um, yeah, four ways. So one way is, of course, birth or genealogy. Okay. Now, folks, um, get your pen and paper out because this is a little bit of school time. Okay. Because I'm still working on putting links in. So get the old school pen and paper out, all right, to write this down. So it is let me see. Yeah, you have the birth, all right, or genealogical, you know what I'm saying. And to put a pin in that right there. All right. And I mentioned this to the folks yesterday, and I'll probably mention it since we will be talking about my series for the next couple of weeks. Since Burkina Faso opened up for citizenship, I said, you know what? I'm going to cover all the countries that offer citizenship when I come back. So you'll probably hear me repeat myself, with different key things, but those key things are very important, right? So I know it was a time where, it was ancestry.com and all of that. And, they had all of these sites that was supposed to be able to do your ancestry, right? And my niece gifted me one of those. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. I'm like, with all of the moving around and everything, how would they really know? They could tell us anything, okay? And it's so funny that um hey Letitia, um yeah, it's so funny that everyone seems to be Nigerian. Me and my sister did it. Our stuff was different. So I don't know, but I thought I was crazy, but I'm not, because with the citizenship to Burkina Faso, and one of the the guidelines or perks to get you through the citizenship process is that you have the genealogical thing, the family tree thing. And they said the only trusted site to trace your background is africanancestry.com. They said that's what they recommended. They said it's africaancestry.com. That's supposed to be the most trusted and most accurate site. Has anybody did the background? Put in the chat for me if y'all have. And yeah, so it's birth, marriage, okay? People have tried to get me to marry somebody in Kenya so bad, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But it be getting thick and things that I gotta do. I was like, I don't know, but they gotta have more money than me. I don't have no money, but I'm saying, um, yeah, by marriage, by naturalization, and by adoption. It's those four. Those four criterias of getting citizenship in Ghana. Okay. Now, the naturalization that we would probably go through is, and some countries have special like visas or citizenships. Like I know in Kenya they have a visa K where you can become a resident or citizen. But it's called a retirement visa, and that gets you in, and then I think it's a shorter time before you can become naturalized. So that's really cool too. Um so those four, so the naturalization process takes about 5 years, and they want you to like be living there or really doing business investing. They want like a solid 5 years of activity with that. So but I based on what, and anybody can jump in and try it. YouTube, usually y'all in YouTube, it'd be somebody on the case. So um usually, like if you went and you stayed, like, I don't know, 3 months, then you left, came back, you stayed for 6 months, but you started a business or invested in a business, because you can also get citizenship by investment. You may have gone into partnership with a company, or some type of company that is on the ground there. um, that can go into your time, but at this moment it's 5 years. But I know that they were opening it to the diaspora, especially the African Americans, with some special provisions. So but it's still a process, and you would start the process going to the Ministry of Interior. Write that down. Ministry of Interior. That's where you will start it. Now, just to go off of that. Now, I do repatriation services, support people, and have people, help people on their journey, along with my travel services, and I have the travel and repatriation step by step 12-month guide. It's on Glamlux Travel. You can go and or email me. Um, but you can go and get it if you want to do it at your own pace. It's set up for 12 months, but it gives you step by step. Now, just a side tip for y'all, because since Africa is such the place to be, what I want to tell y'all is, and I think I have shared it with you before, that yes, you want to have emotion and you're excited in moving forward to do this, but don't make it not emotional. When you do things like what do you do when you're on the line, and you don't want to do it in haste. I'm going to tell you, even if you do, and I'm a due diligence person, I every time I travel, I will go and study that area for at least 2 months, 2, 3 months, and I'm in the business. So I do, because I would like to know when I get to wherever I'm going, like I'm not a fish out of water, right? So I don't want to do any missteps. And especially considering to move to another country, you don't want to do any missteps. You work really hard for your money here, so you don't want to waste your money. And I say that a lot of people, even Americans, that are in those countries, set up repatriation packages, and promise you a lot. This is just a side note, but still, this is the process of, if you want to get your citizenship and move it over to the continent, be careful that every person you deal with, that every single person you deal with, because they want to make us scary about Africans. It's some Americans that's over there, getting what they can get. So, and then with Ghana, what is going on, that's a big thing to be careful, because everyone wants to say, oh, I bought land and I'm going to build a house. That is a big feat to do, especially if you are not there. When I went to look for a place, I just did not feel comfortable to have dirt. And how long will it take me to build? I got to be there. When I get there, how long it's going to be? Because they take 5-10 years to build a house, build their house. The locals, because they just build it as they get the money. But what people have been running into is, you have land, you have thousands of acres, okay? And you will meet someone that is so nice and so helpful. And I'll show you, my friend has 2 acres and we'll sell it to you for such and such. And what do they call it? The chief. The chief is going to, he has all of you don't have to worry about an attorney, because the chief of the tribe is going to sign off on it. And child, they done sold you and 20 other people the same property. If I'm lying, I'm flying. So be extremely careful, especially when y'all are dealing in something you don't see. And a lot of people are doing developments, and that's great, but it's still somewhat of a risk. Somewhat of a risk, because it's not there yet. It's not financed. And in the other countries, that's different than in the United States, because I'm going through this right now. They don't know nothing about mortgages. They don't know nothing about debt. If you gonna do something, have something, you coming with the money, the cash. The banks will tell you, yeah, we could do a mortgage. It's so new to them. It's new. Mortgages and debt is very common in the United States. We already know that. At how many trillions of dollars we are in debt. But in other countries, they don't have that type of debt, resource. So do not jump, because then you got to finance it. How are you going to finance that project? And you have to be on the ground and you got to know the language. If you're on the ground, you got to know the language. Make sure that they're doing it. I mean, the same type of issues that we run into here with, jackleg, whatever, doing our stuff, and they beg you. And then when they come, they halfway do it, they're coming back. Same thing. Same thing. We wonder where we get it. I keep it a buck with all y'all. But I'm still going to my Africa, honey, because it's much better here. Anyway, so other stuff. So the naturalization process is going to take about 5 years, unless you marry a Ghanaian person, or in your lineage that you can prove to them that you have lineage, Ghanaian lineage. And then adoption, I guess for kids or whatsoever. The requirements to start going through the process. And they said, if any of those are really the one that I'm about to say, if you have a criminal record, you a felon? Absolutely not. They said, don't even bother about filling out the application. And what I have noticed through, all of these moving parts, folks can go party for Dirty December in Ghana. But these African countries is not going to take no American ratchet nonsense. Y'all will see that in the process to move over there. Fees to get your paperwork for, for citizenship, residence, and all of that are on the high side. It could be really probably into the thousands at after you're done, depending on what country it is. And they have rules. So one of the rules for Ghana, no criminal record. Then they not having nonsense. And what I'm seeing is the African countries are positioning themselves because Africa is the future, y'all. Africa is the future. Africa will, economists has said, I've shared this with my Glow Tribe over and over. Economists has reluctantly said that the next round of millionaires, billionaires, and possibly trillionaires in the next 2 decades will come out of Africa, not from the West. It will come out of Africa. And how fast everything is moving and growing in Africa. And then the diaspora is coming with money, with retirement, with 401k, with 403b, with investment, with crypto, with selling a $500,000 house that they paid $80,000 for 30 years ago. We coming with money, and we are willing to open businesses that is going to employ more people. And it's almost like I don't want to say a mushroom, but it's just nonstop growing. So at the pace it's going now, and where it really took life right around 2020. That's when I decided, Africa is a place I need to look at. And it's taken root. And a lot of the YouTubers that I ended up following, they moved like 2000 between 2017, but really a lot in 2020. I don't know how they got through the COVID thing. Between 2020 2022, we had a lot of people leave the United States, and it's not stopping. It's not slowing down. People at this point now, it's just trying to get their bearings together to see how this is going to work for them long term. But you don't even have to, you can leave for a year, you can leave for 4 years. But that's what people are trying to figure out is, okay, if I leave, how will I sustain and my family and all of this and all that? It will happen. It will be the best move ever, because the United States is imploding on itself. And this, whatever we got in office, is going to make somebody bomb us. I swear. It's crazy. So, so going back to that. So the African countries realize that. So they're not going to take anybody into their country. So that means that that every country is going to have a level of, I don't know, I don't want to say class, like of a certain level of respect or substance. I guess the easiest word I could say. So if you have a certain demographic and psychographic that is on the same path and growing, it's just going to blow up. They're not just taking anybody. So you can come and party for Dirty December, but to live, it will probably be a different story. You know what I'm saying? So no criminal record. Then they want you to speak at least one Ghana language. They have 3. And they want you to speak at least one, learn at least one Ghana language. All right. And then um, you will go to the Ministry of Interior and ask for Form 5 to get the process started. And the process, you will probably get first a resident permit uh, or work permits. Now, the work permits are tricky. Don't think that, oh, okay, I just get a work permit. Work permits are ridiculously expensive. So if you are still with a big company that is global, I would try to ask to, not move over there, but have some type of way, because in a lot of the African countries, work permits, as much as it sounds so simple, they're the most expensive. They're like $3,000 to have a work permit. So, and it's different for every country, but I know Kenya is like 2, 3 grand. And I'm like, how that when people make $3 a day? I don't get it. So, but they said that the companies that people, expats come from pay for that service to have a work permit. So you get a work permit, a resident permit. And what I do suggest too is form relationships. I can't say that enough. To form relationships, do your due diligence, reach out when you're researching wherever you want to go. You see people on YouTube. Um, yeah, you see people on YouTube. Reach out to them. Reach out to them. And go to their Instagram and send them a message. And more than likely, I think like 8 out of 10 of them will respond back. And then when you get on the ground, don't be an island, don't be the know-it-all American, don't be the non-speaking to people American. Like that irritates me. Like that irritates me so bad. Like I think that's so rude when people don't speak. But um Gloria, focus. That's just sorry. But go there with an open mind, and you don't know how many people that you will come in contact with. And also, just like y'all are on this Facebook group, the Facebook groups are phenomenal because we share information and you can connect with different people inside. You can share your information. You can get, sorry, my phone. They said my phone. Sorry, y'all. They said my phone needs to cool down. So I'm going to move it. Okay, I'm going to move it. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to go back and forth like this because my phone was hot being on the computer. So you can get, information from there, from trusted sources, not people that you kind of know. But one thing that you do need in your pocket is attorneys. Now, there's another thing. Get in touch with y'all. I hope y'all writing this down. I hope y'all are what is picking up what I'm putting down. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Put a one in the chat. This is kombucha. Um, so go contact the U.S. Embassy. There's a couple things that y'all need to do if y'all haven't gone already. Is to sign up for the, what is it called? Oh my God, I always forget it. But it's basically to let the government know that you are traveling wherever. And if anything goes down, they know that, okay, you are in this country if something went down, or you're here, or you're there. I forgot what the name of it is. I have it written down somewhere. I usually talk about it. All right. So you definitely need an attorney, okay, to lead you through the process. Okay. You could try to do it yourself, but you may need an attorney. And what I would suggest is that you contact the U.S. Embassy and ask them, because the U.S. Embassy has a lot of resources, and they are there to be pro United States, right? To take care of their US people that's traveling. Reach out to them to get referrals on on attorneys. If you need a real estate attorney, if you need any attorney, and reach out if you're starting the process now, because what I've run into, I needed to scurry and get an attorney quickly. Usually the attorneys that are connected with or recommended by the US embassy are top, are the best that you can get. So they're usually busy and they can't just drop and do whatever your stuff is. So if y'all are thinking about the process, hi honey, please be serious. How you doing? um yeah, that you need to connect with and start a relationship with an attorney like now, so they can help you go through the steps also. All right. You got to do your own due diligence. Do not depend on someone 100% to do it for you. You basically got to know, you got to act like an attorney. You got to know what the answer is before somebody say it. So you do your research. And then when you go to talk to other people to assist and you hear that they're saying the same thing that you already researched, you're like, okay, I understand. Okay. But that's a little hack. That's a little hack. Use the US Embassy to assist you, um, with finding resources. Okay. As I said, and the process that it takes to become, when you start the application, not the entire process. The entire process can be up to 5 years. But after starting the application, it's like 6 to 12 months. Let me see what she's saying. I just asked about an attorney on another video. I watched it, then brought me here. Yes, you're talking. Thank you, honey. Please be serious. She got the cutest name. Honey, please be serious. So, yes, so it is very important for us because we go through enough here. What we don't want to do is get across the water and then we run into drama and then we're like, oh my God, we should have never left. And all of a sudden, this place starts looking good to us again. So you can be, emotional, but don't do things in emotional. Make sure you're doing it step by step, by step, by step. Because if you rush, I met a lady when I was researching before, and she was so through, and she was like ex-military, 20 years she served this country, and she was just so through. This was 4 years ago, and she said she didn't care who won. She was out. She said she bought a one-way ticket, and it was during COVID, actually. She bought a one-way ticket to Tanzania. She paid $600. Never turned. She said she started selling her stuff. So that was, and she left on election day. And the whole time she was traveling, she was hoping she didn't get stopped to be turned around. She was just so like over it. She said she didn't care about pearls, chucks. No, she was done. And she served this country for 20 years. So I see her time to time, but a lot of times when you do it too fast, a lot of times you get caught up and you just, it's not a good, unless you've been out there. But if you haven't been in the military and traveled and been in certain situations, most of us are just civilians and we want a better life. Make sure and don't procrastinate, because the more you procrastinate, the longer it's going to be. And every day is something crazy here. So be intentional. Get a, get you know, a little book or whatever. Definitely get my guide um, to have you break down, and you schedule yourself for a year or two, or whatever you decide that you want to do. Because with this process here, it's, you can't just get your citizenship. Now, going back to that, you got to think about, because a lot of people ask me, oh, so you're going to have your dual citizenship in Kenya? And I'm like, maybe, yeah. I think that's a lot of big talk. But you, to get your citizenship, I personally would tell you, do you really need it? Because when you get there, you usually have certain things that you can do business without a passport. So it's up to you. And if you're coming from certain countries, I'm on Facebook, but in my YouTube people, different countries that you're coming from and you want to go and get dual citizenship, they don't allow it. Now, I don't think that the United States don't trip about that, because my daughter has dual citizenship in Sierra Leone. The United States doesn't trip about that, but the United States passport is the most powerful passport you're going to have. So if you want to have and go through being a citizen, because maybe your great great grandparents were from Ghana, and you want that. But the day to day, if you move over there, usually as long as you pay taxes, you get like a pin, like a pin number whatsoever, and you pay your taxes, whatever. It's not, and it takes 5 years. So you would have to live there 5 years. You're going to have to bank, everything like that. So it's really up to you to decide if having dual citizenship or becoming a citizen is what you really want to do. Don't be pressured that seems like it's the thing, and it looks like, like I didn't graduate from college, okay? And I start to feel a type of way every time graduation comes. I'm like, darn, I want to do that. Oh, they look so good. Oh my gosh. I've done well without a college degree. I've gone to college, but um, I'm fine. But I do feel a type of way. So I think it's a lot of FOMO, a lot of FOMO. But you got to decide what you want to do. But that is the basis, because we running over. Sorry about that. I want to thank you all for being part of the hour of power, because guess what? Knowledge is power. Africa is the powerful, right? So if anyone, let me read what Honey Please, all in it. Let me see what she got to say. I started researching and enjoying. Yes, like I said, the expat groups, that is your silver lining. The groups. And I appreciate that y'all are on Africa Awaits. Get on other groups. If you want to go to Ghana specifically, look up on Facebook, expats in Ghana, expats in Cote d'Ivoire, and you will find an array of a village of people, and people are joining those things like crazy. When I looked up expats of Kenya, it spiked from like having maybe a couple hundred to several thousand in like year 2023. Like everyone is joining just that one. So do the groups, and with the groups, you can start to find people or ask the question, does anybody have a recommendation for this or that? And you will see in the chat, in the group, who is who engages and who you can also trust and build. And people, when you decide to go over there and there's people there already, connect with them before. Closed mouths don't get fed. This is the time. We got to get rid of that US, I'm going to go and that closed mouths don't get fed. You better be as nice as possible to everybody. That's the only way you're going to get something. And get connected, because you will be the new kid on the block and you want to have a village. Yes. So if there's no question, who else? I want to thank you all so much. Last night, I apologize. Now I was on my YouTube. Hey, YouTube people, we were getting down. But this morning, because I was wondering, I was like, why is it only like 4 people on my Facebook Live and my regular people not on there? Child, I was on my personal page, okay? So I didn't have my like minds today. Like 20 folks that's been on here. So, and I want to thank my my YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, who is tomorrow? I think is it Senegal tomorrow? Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. I write everything down. I'm so old school. I write everything down. I don't trust it being in my phone, because if I lose my phone, it's a wrap. I write everything down. Okay, so tomorrow, today, Tuesday, tomorrow will be South Africa. Thursday is going to be Sierra Leone. And these are all countries that is offering the diaspora, especially African Americans, citizenship or free citizenship. They say free citizenship, but it's not free, because it does have administrative fees, but they are giving the diaspora citizenship. So this week, tomorrow will be South Africa, Thursday will be Sierra Leone, and then Friday will be Rwanda. Okay. So, if everything is good, I want to thank y'all. This is Miss G Glow, however you want to call me. Definitely check out Glampluxe Travels if you want to travel to the continent of Africa. Call me if you have any questions, and grab the travel and repatriation guide. Is brand new, and anything you want to ask, definitely DM me. I am here for you, and I'm glad to be back, and I hope to stay back and in my mind space. But I'll check y'all tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye.